Welcome to More Than a Parent, a podcast exploring who we are and what we want outside of being a parent, so we can create an integrated lifestyle with impact both in and out of our homes. I'm Kaz Gaddis, and I invite you to join me to be your more, live your and. Welcome to More Than a Parent. I'm Kaz Gaddis, a personal power coach for parents, specifically moms who are wanting to live their more, be their and. What that means specifically is that I coach moms intentionally to create inner aligned lifestyles that energize both their presence as parents and also actualize who they are in their personal power. So what's important about this episode is this is pure power, guys. Before I even go into that piece, let me share with you a little bit about, I guess, everything going on. So we are obviously in a pandemic globally as a community. We are feeling it in all sorts of ways. There's a lot of different energies going around, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with the term empath. Usually it's someone that, not usually, but what it is it's someone who kind of feels all the feels, not just their own, but of others. And I think I underestimated how much of an empath I am, because up until last week, for a few days, I was feeling almost paralyzed. I was feeling all the feels going on globally, going on in the community, in other communities that I'm part of moms, everybody. This is affecting everyone. And so I was in a place where it wasn't like I was depressed. I've been there before, I know what that feels like. It was more of paralyzed by the feelings and then just kind of going through the motions of the day. If you resonate with this, if you've ever been in a situation like that, you know it is, you can get lost in that, right? Like you can just continue to go just through the motions instead of showing up. And so I allowed myself to have a space of feeling that, of being in that for a few days, because it obviously needed to come out. And so I did that piece, and then I told myself, okay, cool. I've been here before where I've allowed myself to feel something for a certain amount of time. And what is the next thing now, right? Because when we are feeling paralyzed, especially how easily that is as moms, as parents in this time that we're in, we have a choice. So feel the feels so that they are felt and not just continue to be submerged, because they will pop up again, and likely in situations and in ways that you prefer them not to. But looking like, okay, cool. So my choices are, I can stay paralyzed. I can stay in just going through the motions in a way that's not serving anyone, especially not yourself. And then you're adding to the noise of the things that aren't serving anybody. Or I can choose to allow that fear to fuel my power. And so be empowered in that pause, right? So that pause to feel the things, that pause to then be like, in a place of reflection for what is possible. And so I started to choose, obviously, to be empowered in that. And I was able to not only connect more to myself. When you have moments that you allow yourself to have higher consciousness and you kind of flex that higher awareness in yourself, you're also able to see more potential, more possibilities, more opportunity. And so I thought, okay, cool. So what is the next best thing in the situation? How can I be part of something that empowers somebody else, especially if you're feeling in any way, shape, or form anxious or fear-filled or paralyzed, just in all the things, right? And so I reached out over the last week and a half. I reached out to several moms that I know, and then I also opened it up to the greater community to share some productivity tips, and I'll also be doing another episode with self-care tips. And so with this episode being the productivity one, we are in a place now where most of us are home with our kids. We're having to figure out homeschool like we've never had to do before. We're also having to be productive by either bringing our work home with us if we were working from out of the house, or now our business and our normal flow may be looking different with everybody at the house. there's a lot of incomes being lost. There is a lot of different uncertainties going on, right? But amidst it all, there is, if you choose to see it, there is possibility, there is opportunities, there is a moment to regather, to reframe for yourself, for your family, and then what does that mean like overall, right? So I asked these moms to share tips on either productivity or on self-care that could really serve us right now during this pandemic that we're in, because that way we can start contributing voices of empowerment, of possibility, versus just hearing a lot of the negative pieces, which some of it is definitely real, but we don't have to fully focus on that. Otherwise, it consumes us in a negative way. And again, not that it's wrong to feel quote unquote negative emotions. I don't believe in negativity. I really believe that those things, I call it, a certain group of us, we call it catabolic energy, which is just a type of energy that can fuel you. You have to feel it. It's part of being human, but you don't have to be sucked into the kind of like the winding piece of it consuming you in a bad way. So anywho, so for the resources shared today, this is going to be an interesting podcast. We're going to have a bunch of people joining us and sharing with us productivity for the now, productivity for this uncertainty that we're in. If you go to kazgaddis.com, that's CAZGADDIS.com, /podcast, you'll see all of it there. And specifically for this episode, if you go to kazgaddis.com /EO09, that's for episode 009, that'll be the one here that we're going to be sharing on productivity. In that website, we'll also have the show notes as far as everyone's information. They all are sharing different freebies, different resources that'll all be available for you there. And there is a mega download with a bunch of everything that everyone is sharing. I'm calling it More Than a Parent Roundup Guide. So you'll be able to access that there.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kim Lang, founder of Growing Up Confident. I'm also a child and adolescent therapist, and I'm excited to speak with you today. I'm going to be sharing some strategies for helping your kids quiet the coronavirus worries. Our kids are going to need more from us right now. Emotions are high, worries are high, and I acknowledge that it's a time where we might actually have less to give. So let's be gentle with ourselves, let's be kind to ourselves, and we're all just doing our best here. But the time that we're able to spend connecting with our kids and the time we're spent attuning to their emotions will actually create more time for us in the long run. Here are some easy ways to create that connection or attunement. The first is just have fun together. Make sure there's time for something fun in your day where you're connecting in a silly, fun, playful manner. The second is checking in on their emotions. How are they feeling today? Easy way, use your hands. How big are your feelings about the coronavirus? Small, medium, large. How big? How big are your feelings about not being in school right now? How big are your feelings about having to stay home all the time? How big are your feelings about not seeing your friends? This simple scaling exercise can really open up conversations with your kids, or at least give you a reading on kind of where they are emotionally. You can also use numbers for older kids, 0 to 5, 0 to 10. How big are your feelings? You can have kids draw it out if they're more autistic. Draw a big rectangle, fill it up. How big are your feelings on this topic, this topic, this topic? So checking in emotionally. And a third strategy is coming up with kind of a schedule. We're creating a new normal that is going to seem wobbly for all of us for a while. Easy way is to think of the areas. So meet each morning and figure out, what do we need to do for learning? What is something you're going to do to create today? What is some play you're going to do today? What do you want to do for rest? What do you want to do to connect? We need to stay connected with each other, with other people. And what do you want to do to contribute? So having these conversations with your kids so there's some structure to their day, learning, creating, playing, resting, contributing, and creating, connecting. Connecting can be with ourselves, with others, with nature, with God. Contributing could be chores in our house, can be really anything like that. So again, having fun, being gentle with ourselves, knowing that this is new for all of us, so we can expect that it's going to be anxiety provoking, and having some sort of routine in our day. Thanks. And if you'd like to stay connected, you can reach me at Growing Up Confident on Facebook, or growingupconfident.com is my website. And there's a newsletter button. You can sign up there and I'll send you my tips and strategies. Talk to you later. Bye.
Well, there you have it. We just had a bunch of amazing humans share with you different productivity tips, insights, techniques, tools that have helped them be able to figure out this new level of productivity with having everyone in the house. I hope that this serves you. I appreciate you. I am wishing you nothing but the best during this time of mega transition and mega integration in our lives. And while it may not feel like it sometimes, you totally got this.
Thanks for listening to this episode of More Than a Parent. To be your more, live your and.
Continue the conversation and connect at facebook.com/groups/more than a parent.